Hey, Commissioner Rathbun, can we do an audio check?
Check. 1, 2, check.
Go ahead. Thank you. Hello, Commissioner Chun, can we do an audio check, please?
Sure. Good afternoon.
Oh, wait, thank you. Hello, Commissioner Onaka, can we do an audio check?
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, wait, thank you.
Thanks.
Hello, Chair, can we do an audio check, please?
Sure, testing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Chair, we can begin now.
Thanks, Scott. I hereby call this meeting of the Reapportionment Commission to order. It's 3 p.m. on March 7th, 2022. This meeting is being conducted by video conference and telephone. I would like to remind the commissioners to keep their cameras on for the duration of the meeting. Will the secretary please take the roll?
Chair Muguishi,
Present.
Commissioner Chipchase, excuse, Commissioner Chun,
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Here.
Commissioner Nakota,
Here.
Commissioner Nishimura,
Present.
Commissioner Onaka,
Present.
Commissioner Ono,
Here.
Commissioner Rathbun.
Present.
Chair, you have a quorum.
Okay, thank you. Mahalo. Commissioners, pursuant to Act 220, Session Laws of Hawaii 2021, you are required to disclose if anyone is present with you for this meeting. Commissioners, is anyone present with you for this meeting?
My husband Wade is right there. Business partner.
Thank you. Anyone else? I have Matt Sasaki, my Assistant Vice President of Government and External Relations, in the room with me. Okay. Additionally, pursuant to Act 220, we will be meeting remotely using interactive conference technology. This meeting is being recorded and will be posted on the Office of Elections website at elections.hawaii.gov shortly after the conclusion of this meeting. As a reminder to the public, your microphone will be muted until you are called upon. Agenda item 3 is public testimony, so we will now move on to public testimony. A list of testifiers who have submitted their name before the meeting has been added to the chat. As technical issues may arise, we will give each testifier a few moments to try and resolve any connection issues. However, if the issues cannot be resolved, we will have to move on to the next testifier. If you would like to testify, please click raise hand under reactions on Zoom. If you are joining us by phone, please press *9. When recognized, please unmute your microphone before speaking. You may also turn on your video at this time. For the record, please state your first and last name and the items you will be testifying on. For those testifiers joining us by phone, we will not have your name and will be identifying you by the last 4 digits of your phone number. To ensure that we will have sufficient time to hear all testimony, each testifier will have 3 minutes to testify. Once your time is expired, you will be asked to conclude your remarks. During public testimony, the commissioners will also be muted, but may unmute themselves to ask any questions. Will the secretary please announce the first testifier?
First testifier is Ralph Boyer, followed by Mary Smart.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Am I unmuted?
Yes.
All right, thank you. I'm sorry. I don't have my video going either, but I just got home. Anyway, for the record, my name is Ralph Boyer. On behalf of the residents of Hawaii Island, I submitted the Boyer Community Plan version 2. The fact that the HRC completely ignored the Hawaii state constitutional criteria of placing representative districts wholly within senatorial districts is currently pending litigation in the Hawaii State Supreme Court. Litigation was completely unavoidable. Why is that? Because the Hawaii Island community and the Oahu community handed you plans that met this criteria, as well as all of the criteria set forth in our Constitution. You chose to ignore those plans. Regarding the Boyer Community Plan for the island of Hawaii, the Boyer Community Plan places all 8 House districts wholly within the 4 Senate districts. The HRC plan does not do this, and in fact has 1 House district spanning all 4 Senate districts. The Boyer Community Plan honors the constitutional criteria of keeping areas with similar social economic interests together. The HRC plan places rural Puna subdivision into an urban Hilo district. The HRC plan places urban areas into both rural Puna and rural Hamakua districts. The Boyer Community Plan creates a more compact House district, keeping all of House District 5 in 1 senatorial district. The HRC plan for House District 5 spreads the district from KL to Captain Cook, spanning 4 different senatorial districts. The Boyer Community Plan keeps the communities of Kailua Kona and Captain Cook together. The HRC plan separates those communities. The Boyer Community Plan was created in consultation with around 80 Hawaii Island residents. The HRC plan was created by 4 HRC members, only 1 from Hawaii Island. Between January 13th and January 28th, the HRC received at least 57 written testimonies from Hawaii Island residents in favor of the Boyer Community Plan, and nearly a dozen more testifying orally in favor of that plan. Many other residents testified against the HRC plan, both orally and in writing. We did not just complain about your plan. We presented a viable alternative that covers the entire island of Hawaii, a viable alternative that meets all of the constitutional criteria, a viable alternative that would have avoided forcing community members from having to finance a totally avoidable lawsuit in order to protect our right to have representation from within our communities. Representation that will affect our economic opportunities and our quality of life for at least the next 10 years. The ball will be back in your court soon. We remain hopeful. We remain hopeful that you will see the value of the community plan. Please don't force us to spend all of our hard-earned money to protect our right to vote. Thank you.
Next testifier is Mary Smart, followed by Bill Hicks.
Thank you, commissioners. I've been checking the website. I keep hoping to see new maps because of all of our testimony, asking you to comply with the Hawaii State Constitution, and then that very detailed and meaningful lawsuit that I read on the site. And I understand that the commission asked for a delay in responding to the lawsuit, which is troubling to me because you said that you had all the rationale to justify why you weren't adhering to the Constitution. The delays, are only helping the incumbents, and the new candidates are suffering by the delays that could have been avoided, either by starting with Bill Hicks or Mr. Boyer's very good maps that so much of the community supported. I still want to mention the military extraction and how that is very inappropriate, that all the other 49 states use the census data, and you're extracting people who will not be represented anywhere. And you're extracting people you don't even know that they were counted in Hawaii's census numbers. So it's double jeopardy. And I'll just point something out, that when someone is assigned to Hawaii on military orders, they receive permanent change of station, PCS orders. That's P is for permanent. They are permanent residents. There is such a thing as temporary additional duty, TAD, temporary duty, TDY. The people you're extracting are permanent residents. So you are knowingly extracting people that need representation here. They're going to require representation here. It hurts them, but it also hurts the communities in which they live. Okay, I'm also here to talk about Mililani Town, Mililani Mauka, YPO Acres. We are in central Oahu. We are a community of interest. Some of the community interests, you just have to look at some of the maps, but especially Board of Education. The people in those 3 districts go to Mililani High School. And so we are compact, we're a community of interest. We have geographic areas that designate separation. That Kapapa Gulch especially separates us from YPO Gentry. The only reason I can think we are still connected to YPO Gentry is because the incumbent for District 37 lives there. So I think you're violating Section 2 of the Hawaii State Constitution. So in my testimony, exactly. Thank you. Please read my testimony.
Next testifier is Bill Hicks, followed by Bart Dean.
Hello, Chair. I'm Bill Hicks. The Hawaii Constitution says where practicable, representative districts shall be wholly included within senatorial districts. It was practicable for all 51 House districts to be fully contained within a Senate district, yet 35 House districts were not compliant. The Hawaii revised statutes say where practicable, state legislative districts shall be wholly included within congressional districts. It was practicable for all House districts and 24 of 25 Senate districts to be fully contained within a congressional district, yet 10 legislative districts were not compliant. Next Tuesday, the Hawaii Supreme Court will hear oral arguments as to whether or not the 2021 final legislative reapportionment plan is constitutional. Should the court decide that it is not constitutional, I'd like to remind the Commission that the Hicks-aligned Oahu Senate Plan, the Boyer Community Big Island House Plan, and the Schaefer Maui Senate Plan have been submitted to the Commission and provide shovel-ready maps that, 1, are fully compliant with the Hawaii Constitutional and revised statutes criteria, 2, utilize existing boundaries already approved by this Commission for use as the Oahu House, Big Island Senate, and Maui House districts, 3, provide the desirable synergy described by Chair Mugiashi, 4, increase the effectiveness of public representation. House districts that cut across 4 Senate districts and Senate districts that cut across 6 House districts make it harder for legislators to effectively coordinate action, make it more difficult for neighbors to effectively advocate for common interests, their common interests to the legislature, and diminish the likelihood that all elected officials would have a shared understanding of the local community's need for schools, roads, and other infrastructure. In the case of the Hicks-aligned Oahu Senate Plan and the Boyer Big Island House Plan, these plans were discussed at 5 separate Commission meetings in January and garnered widespread support in the public testimony offered. An objective side-by-side comparison of these plans with the commission's plan would reveal that in addition to being compliant with Hawaii's laws, being simpler and more effective, they are also better in several constitutionally specified ways. In the Oahu Senate map, Hawaii Kai, Pearl City, Mililani Town, and Kailua would be kept better intact. Senate District 23 would be more compact and not stretch all the way from Kaina Point to parts of Kaneohe. And Senate District 25 would no longer cross Makapu'u Point and mix Windward Oahu with East Honolulu. In the Big Island House map, Ralph Boyer and others have clearly described why their map is substantially better and how it joins like communities together and reduces the instances of joining dissimilar communities. Finally, the Hicks Congressional Plan utilizes existing boundaries already approved by this commission for use as Oahu House districts so that 75 out of 76 legislative districts are fully contained within a congressional district while complying with the commission's criteria that congressional population deviation be less than 1%. If maps need to be redrawn, know that these alternatives are already mahalo.
Next testifier is Bart Dane.
Hello, commissioners. I almost didn't testify, but I think this is perhaps the last meeting, although who knows, the word final has taken on different meanings this cycle around. There have been multiple final plans. I suspect you're going to have one more final plan before this is done. I'd like to focus today in the last meeting on my concerns about the lack of adherence to the Sunshine Law throughout the work of the commission. As you are aware, the Sunshine Law requires that all discussions and deliberations as well as votes occur in public meeting to the extent practicable. And that use of the exceptions like the permanent interaction groups and meeting with attorneys should be construed very, very narrowly in order to ensure the public has a right to observe what's going on. For many times during this month, I felt like I was in the middle of a game, like a mystery game, a whodunit. And I guessed that it was Colonel Mustard with the candlestick in the library. And it shouldn't be that we have to spend our time guessing. If we're going to make effective public input, we have to know what are the questions of each of the individual commissioners, what they think are the facts, what theories they're operating with, so that we can fashion our testimony in a productive way towards their thinking. Instead, we had brief comments only when people were voting, and they seemed like they were prepared with the attorney. So finally, I'd like to focus on this push for a constitutional amendment, which I guess you guys are going to be recommending, that changes the population base from permanent resident as currently defined to a count of all those who are ordinary residents as defined by the US Census. And I oppose that. I think it's a mistake. I think that the neighbor islanders are entitled to full and equal representation. I've seen testimony, not so much here, but in the legislature, where people are saying that non-resident military are deprived of their voting rights, not just in Hawaii, but in another state. That's a very confused statement. And I'm afraid that a lot of the discussions about the deprivation of representational rights to non-resident military reflect that sort of vague misunderstanding. The actual practical benefits of someone being represented when they themselves are not able to vote for who represents them is rather narrow. And it's a small amount. I'd like to hear someone discuss exactly what it consists of. But when you recognize that claim for a right, as Costic has told us in their decision, you are choosing to disregard the rights of legitimate full permanent residents who live in districts far away from military bases, especially neighbor islands, to have full and equal representation. And so I would urge you not to push that way. And if you do push that way, we will have fun discussing this and debating this during the legislative session. Thank you for this time to testify.
Chair, there are no further testifiers.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for participating and testifying. Hey, Bart, I just wanted to clarify that our position on that issue that you just brought up about whether our constitutional amendment is valid or not. We couldn't agree on that. Our position was that the data sets are difficult to reconcile and that something needed to be done. And we didn't agree on what that something should be, just to make that clear. Anyway, thank you again to everyone for participating. We'll now move on to the next agenda item 4, approval of the minutes for the meeting of February 23rd, 2022. Included in the meeting packet are the minutes of the February 23rd, 2022 meeting. Is there any discussion on those minutes? If not, is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second?
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. We have Commissioner Kennedy, motion, Commissioner Nakota, second. Any further discussion? If not, would the secretary please take the vote?
Commissioner Chipchase, excuse Commissioner Chun,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Nakota,
Aye.
Commissioner Nishimura,
Aye.
Commissioner Nanaka,
Aye.
Commissioner Ono,
Aye.
Commissioner Rathbun,
Aye.
Chair Maguishi,
Aye,
Chair, the motion carries.
thank you. We'll now move on to agenda item 5, discussion and action regarding the February 23rd, 2022 petition of registered voters challenging the validity of the final legislative reapportionment plan. On February 23rd, 2022, a petition was filed with the Hawaii Supreme Court challenging the validity of the final legislative reapportionment plan. It is my recommendation that we go into executive session to consult with our attorney. Is there a motion for the commission to convene an executive session pursuant to HRS section 92-5A4 for agenda item 5 to consult with the commission's attorneys on questions and issues pertaining to the commission's powers, duties, privileges, immunities, and liabilities regarding the lawsuit?
I move that we go into executive session, Chair.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Ono, second by Commissioner Nishimura. Any further discussion? Okay, Mr. Secretary, can you please take the vote?
Commissioner Chipchase, excuse Commissioner Chun,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Nakota,
Aye.
Commissioner Nishimura,
Aye.
Commissioner Naka,
Aye.
Commissioner Ono,
Aye.
Commissioner Rathbun,
Aye.
Chair Maguishi.
Aye.
Chair, the motion carries.
Okay, thank you. If you can take us into executive session and we'll reconvene in open session.
Okay, we're all back.
Okay, thank you very much. Seeing that all the commissioners have rejoined, we are now reconvening back into open session, and we will continue with the next agenda item, which is agenda item 6, discussion and formation of a permitted interaction group pursuant to HRS 92-2.5B to assist in the litigation of the February 23rd, 2022 petition of registered voters challenging the validity of the final legislative reapportionment plan. So HRS section 92-2.5B2 provides that a permitted interaction group may be assigned to present, discuss, or negotiate any position which the commission has adopted. I recommend, and we discussed in executive session, that the commission form a permitted interaction group to assist the Attorney General's office with defending against the challenge to the final reapportionment plan. Such assistance may include discussing the commission's position with the Attorney General's office and working with the Attorney General's office in preparing declarations or other documents to be included in the commission's answer to the petition, all of which will be subject to the attorney-client privilege and attorney work product privilege. Having such a body will prevent the need for us to have a noticed commission meeting every time there is a need to respond to a time-sensitive inquiry or request for assistance from the Attorney General's office regarding this litigation matter. If the commission agrees, then we will need to adopt a position and then assign members to this group. I recommend that we create a permitted interaction group that has an appropriate balance of those who are attorneys and have legal experience, along with those who are part of the technical committee and have relevant knowledge regarding the construction of the maps and who reflect the bipartisan nature of this commission. Specifically, I would recommend assignment of Commissioners Chip Chase, Chun, Ono, and Nonaka. Before I entertain a motion and open the floor for discussion, however, first I would like to ask if Commissioners Chip Chase, Chun, Ono, and Nonaka have any objection to the proposed assignment.
No objection, Chair.
Thank you. Okay, hearing no objections. Members, is there a motion to adopt the position that the final reapportionment plan adopted by the commission was valid and should not be disturbed and form a permitted interaction group as recommended?
Chair, I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Is there a second? Okay, motion by Commissioner Nishimura, second by Commissioner Rathbun. Any further discussion on any part of the motion? Okay, if not, Mr. Secretary, can you please take the vote?
Commissioner Chip Chase,
Aye.
Commissioner Chun,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Sorry, that wasn't me because I was on mute. I'm sorry, but I have to vote no.
Commissioner Kota, sorry, you're on mute.
You know, I won't let me go back to your main session. It's keeping me out.
Oh, you
But
are
I
in
am
mute.
voting yes.
Commissioner Nishimura,
Aye.
Commissioner Naka,
Aye.
Commissioner Ono,
Aye.
Commissioner Rathbun.
Aye.
Chair Mugiishi,
Aye.
Chair, the motion carries.
Can we get Commissioner Nakota's vote again, like more clearly on the record?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, yes, I said yes.
Just to clarify, Commissioner Nakota, that was an aye from you, or yes?
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
yes.
Okay, thank you. So I am naming, as articulated in my preamble, I'm naming to the permitted interaction group Commissioners Chun, Chip Chase, Nonaka, and Ono to be on the permitted interaction group. And to reiterate, the members of the permitted interaction group will assist the Attorney General's office with defending against the challenge to the final reapportionment plan, such as discussing the commission's position with the Attorney General's office and working with the Attorney General's office in preparing declarations and other documents to be included in the commission's answer to the petition. All right, we'll now move on to the next and final agenda item. So thanks again. This is adjournment. Thanks again for participating in today's meeting. As there is no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Ono, second by Commissioner Nishimura. Any further discussion? Okay, Mr. Secretary, if you can take the final vote.
Commissioner Chipchase,
Aye.
Commissioner Chun,
Aye.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Aye.
Commissioner Nakota,
Aye.
Commissioner Nishimura,
Aye.
Commissioner Nonaka,
Aye.
Commissioner Ono,
Aye.
Commissioner Rathbun. Sorry, was that an aye?
Aye.
Commissioner Mugishi, Chairman Mugishi.
Aye. Mahalo,
The
everyone.
motion carries.
Thank you. Take care, everyone.
Ready, bye.